guys, I'm Heidi and you're watching Heidi Kim Makeup. I wanted to talk about the issue of parent company testing. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the different philosophies of what cruelty-free might mean to you. So mainly what I'm going to talk about here is companies that are owned by parent companies that test, but that they themselves do not test, like Bare Minerals, Urban Decay, NYX, Tarte, NARS. There's a ton that fit into this category. Versus the philosophy of buying products that don't test on animals and aren't owned by parent companies that test. There's one category that believes that buying products from a brand, like we'll take Urban Decay for our example. Buying Urban Decay, ultimately your money is going to L'Oreal because L'Oreal owns Urban Decay. And even though Urban Decay products are considered cruelty-free, the money that you're spending goes to L'Oreal and L'Oreal tests, so ultimately you're funding animal testing. Then there's another camp of people who believe that by buying Urban Decay, you are sending a message to L'Oreal that it is profitable to not test on animals. And so they are more likely to stop testing on their other products. I can kind of see both sides of the spectrum here, though I think both philosophies are a little bit flawed. I personally am willing to buy from a company like Urban Decay if I can't find an equivalent product that is not owned by a parent company that tests on animals. So for example, I won't buy an Urban Decay primer potion because I think Too Faced Shadow Insurance is an equivalent product, is just as good, and is ultimately better. Like, I'm doing something a little bit better. I also think it's a little idealistic to say, oh, I'm going to keep giving Urban Decay my money because that'll teach L'Oreal. So while I'm willing to buy from Urban Decay, I don't consciously go out of my way to buy from companies like this if I have an alternative. I think ultimately it's about doing the most good that you can do. I also think it's interesting that L'Oreal keeps buying all these cruelty-free companies. And maybe that is a signal that L'Oreal is realizing that cruelty-free is profitable. So maybe it will make some progress. Maybe I'm not being completely idealistic. I also think that ultimately the philosophy of, well, I should buy Too Faced instead of Urban Decay is a little bit flawed, and here's why. If you're buying a brand like Too Faced or even Josie Maran, which I think is all vegan even, you're probably buying it from like Sephora or Ulta or something like that. Well, Sephora tests on animals, and they're making a profit from you buying that Too Faced. So still, some of your money is going towards animal testing. Is it better? Yeah, probably, because less of your money is going towards animal testing in that sense. But it's still not perfect. I don't think the argument that I can't be perfect, so I shouldn't try, is a legit argument. So I do kind of find a little bit of a flaw in that, but it's kind of difficult because, like, say you're vegan, for example. I'm not vegan, but say you are. Even if you could find a vegetarian grocery store, which is very hard to come by, you're still buying products from a company that sells animal byproducts like cheese and eggs. And you're probably buying from a grocery store that sells meat. So some of your money is going to the grocery store and kind of supporting that. Is it better to buy vegan? Yes, absolutely. Is it better to buy from a company that is not tested on animals and not owned by a parent company? Yes, I believe it is. Ultimately, I don't have a problem with showing products that are owned by parent companies on my channel, and I don't really have a problem with buying them. But given the choice, I choose mostly to buy from companies that don't test. So I'd love to hear how you guys feel about this. Let me know down in the comments. But please try to be respectful of each other because I think ultimately we're all trying to do the best we can by animals. And I think that any progress is progress. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you won't miss our next video, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.